Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sunita Bulla. In this session, I'll be discussing about cloud DevOps. It is one of the most essential technology in the world of software development. Before going to discuss about cloud DevOps, first we should understand what are the application life cycles. Let's first understand application life cycles. The application life cycle has four stages. One is development stage, second one testing, third one staging, finally production. So there are four life cycle stages. One is the development of application, testing of application, staging of application, and production of the application. Now here the development stage was handled by developer. Here the developer takes the responsibility of the implementation of the application, and after completion of the implementation simply he will push code changes into Git repository. Not only implementation, the developer takes the responsibility of local unit test cases of this particular application. So like implementation, testing locally, everything take care by the developer. So after completion of the development stage, next stage is testing of application, staging and production. These three stages are handled by one team. The team is called Devops team. The Devops team takes the responsibility of these three stages: testing, staging, and production. Now, testing is nothing but the testing is like a QA team. QA team write the automated or manual test cases for this particular application. The DevOps engineer takes the responsibility of automate that particular test by using the CI/CD tools. Next one, staging environment. The staging environment is also called as a pre-production environment. So after completion of the development and testing, before going to the production stage, now here pre-production stage. So in this pre-production stage, the DevOps team simulates the production environment for the final validations. Along with the cross team like DevOps team, QA team, and sometimes end users, they will work together and it will check the final validation of the application in the pre-production environment. Next, final stage is a production stage. So all validations are successfully completed. Finally, the application will release into the production environment. When in the production environment, here when you deploy the application into the production environment, then the application will available to the end users. Now here the DevOps team for the live deployment for the end users purpose, Now here the DevOps team work for the high availability and high reliability and scalability of the application. The DevOps team takes the responsibility of the automation of the application. Not only automation, it takes the responsibility of the monitoring, it takes the responsibility of the implementation of this particular automation. Now here this is a complete life cycle of the application. The application has four stages: development, testing, staging and production. Stage 1 is handled by the developers. Then after that it will hand over to the DevOps team. The DevOps team takes the responsibility of automation of these three environments. So it is a complete life cycle of application. Next, continuous integration and continuous delivery. CI stands for continuous integration, CD stands for continuous delivery. So here continuous integration is a practice of automation. Now here whatever code changes are there, those code changes are automatically integrated with the multiple developers by using the shared repositories. Now here the continuous integration takes the responsibility of automated build and test process to detect the early errors and ensure the code stability. At the same time, continuous delivery or continuous deployment, it is a second part of the automation process. Here, whatever code is uh, successfully passed to the continuous integration. Now here it's come for the deployment. This the continuous delivery and deployment takes the responsibility of the deployment of the code. Let's discuss deeply about CI/CD. To understand the CI/CD, first of all take one application. It's a calculator application. So let's consider it is a Java full stack application. This Java full stack application is implemented by developer. Now here the developer implemented Java full stack application, that too calculator application. So after completion of the implementation, simply the developer will push the code into the Git repository. When the developer push the code into the Git repository, here next continuous integration comes into the picture. CI, when the code changes are occur in a Git repository, the CI immediately comes into the picture and takes the code from the Git repository. It automatically perform operations. It will automatically perform the operations, and then after completion of these operations, it sends the code into the continuous deployment. Here CD, there are two stages: pre-production stage and production stage. CD handled by the CD handles two stages. One is a pre-production stage and production stage. Here eh, the code will deploy for end user purpose. So whatever code is deployed here, it will available to the end users. So this is the complete CI/CD. So first one, the developer push the code into the Git repository. Then after Git generate the trigger into the CI takes the responsibility of the automation of the operation. Then after that it generates the trigger to the CD. The CD takes the responsibility of the deployment purpose. After successful completion of the deployment, the application will available to the end users. So now the first, for example, if we have a first version of the calculator application, so it complete the entire process, the end user enjoying the first version of the application. The developer implemented second version of the application, simply put the code into the Git repository. Immediately, the continuous integration identifies the code changes and takes the second version of the code, complete the operations, and simply send to the deployment purpose. Then here it deploys the application. Then after the end user enjoy the second version of the application. It's a continuous integration and continuous deployment takes the responsibility of the automation of application from the Git to production environment. So this is the CI/CD workflow. The continuous integration takes the responsibility of the operations. Then it comes to the pre-production release, continuous delivery. Then if it is successful validation in the pre-production, then it sends the code into the deployment purpose. Next definition is Devops. Devops is nothing but it is a software deployment methodology. It has a principles. What are the principles here? Continuous in CI/CD, automation, monitoring, and integration. These are the principles. These principles will work under the CI/CD. So this DevOps terminology is used to implement automation of the application by using the CI/CD. Now next, cloud DevOps. The cloud DevOps is nothing but it is a combination of cloud computing and DevOps. The DevOps principles. The DevOps principles are CI/CD, automation, and integration. These are the principles. These principles are comes together work together with the cloud computing. That is called cloud DevOps. When you are opting the cloud DevOps, there are advantages are there. Now faster provisioning of the infrastructure and early environment setup like a testing, staging, and production, and a scalable infrastructure, and it's very cost effective, and it is a very secured and a centralized access for the applications. These are the advantages of cloud DevOps. That is the reason the cloud DevOps is nowadays in a top 10 technology. If you want to learn the cloud DevOps, these are the mandatory technologies and tools. First is a versioning controller. In the versioning control, Git, GitHub, and GitLab, these are the tools and consoles to implement versioning control. Next one, CI/CD purpose, Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab. Containerization purpose, Docker, Podman. Then after containerizing the application, Kubernetes orchestration is used for the deployment purpose. As a cloud provider, any one cloud provider needed, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform. Finally, infrastructure as a code. To automate complete CI/CD process, we'll use the tools like a Terraform or Ansible. Uh, Here one more tool, that is a Prometheus. The Prometheus is used for monitoring of the container orchestration. Prometheus, Grafana, ELK Stack, CloudWatch, these are the tools used to monitor our uh, Kubernetes, containerization, orchestration, and deployment of our application. Here, the main objective of the course is here cloud DevOps, continuous integration, and continuous deployment. This starts from the Git. Here, Git is nothing but it is a versioning control. where the developers commit the manages the source code. Then after that, the Jenkins comes into the picture. The Jenkins is an automation server. It handles the CI/CD, CI part, not CD, CI parts. By using the Jenkins pipeline, it automatically build and run the test cases of the application, whatever application stored into the Git repository. Then after that, that application code containerized using the Docker application. Then after that, the Docker container deploy into the Kubernetes orchestration. Now here the Kubernetes orchestration having the multi-host facility. No, is a final stage of deployment. Then after finally here Terraform and Ansible, these two are the tools to automate our CI/CD process. By using the Terraform, we can able to launch the infrastructure, cloud infrastructure automatically. By using the Ansible, we can configure automation related configurations. Now, this is the complete CI/CD picture. And next one, and this entire environment will execute in a AWS cloud. Thank you.